I used to believe that change came from big things, a breakthrough, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, or some grand turning point. You know, the kind of stuff they make movies about. But real life? It doesn't always work like that. In my case, it all started with a single dollar. I was in New York City, living paycheck to paycheck like millions of people do. Except this time, the paycheck didn't come. I'd lost my job at a print shop 2 weeks earlier. Rent was late. My phone was shut off. I'd stretched my last bit of groceries so far I was eating crackers with ketchup just to feel full. I was too proud to call anyone, too ashamed to ask for help. You know that feeling? When you're walking around pretending you're fine but inside you're falling apart? That was me. It was one of those bitter, cold mornings, the kind where the wind cuts right through your jacket. I was sitting on a bench near 34th Street, holding my wallet in one hand and reality in the other. One single dollar left. That's all. I remember staring at it like it might multiply if I looked long enough. Across the street, I spotted a food cart, the kind that sells hot pretzels, coffee, egg sandwiches, simple stuff. But in that moment, it felt like luxury. I crossed the street and waited in line, rehearsing what I was gonna say. I knew the pretzel cost more than $1, but I had to try. When I got to the front, I looked the guy in the eye and said quietly, "Hey man, I only have $1. Is there anything I can get?" He paused for a second, then smiled. A real, honest smile, the kind that makes you feel like a human being again. "Don't worry about it," he said, and handed me a warm, salted pretzel. "Eat, you're good." I thanked him, but I don't think he realized what he just gave me. That pretzel wasn't just food, it was dignity. It was hope. It was the first moment in days where I didn't feel invisible. I sat on the steps of a nearby building and ate it slowly, like it was the last real thing I'd taste for a while. Then I stood up, and for some reason, maybe because I had something in my stomach, maybe because that man's kindness lit a spark in me, I started walking with more purpose. A few blocks down, I passed by a little coffee shop. Taped to the window was a handwritten sign that said, "Help wanted, no experience necessary." I don't know what made me stop. I could have kept walking, told myself I wasn't good enough, but something said, "Try." So I walked in. I met the owner. His name was Joe. I told him everything, that I had no phone, no money, no job, but I promised him one thing: I would show up, every day, on time, ready to work. He looked at me for a moment, then said, "Can you start tomorrow?" I nodded. I didn't even ask about pay. That job became my second chance. I cleaned floors, made coffee, learned how to greet customers, how to open and close, how to handle rushes and shortages. I showed up every single day. 6 months later, Joe trusted me enough to run the morning shift. A year later, I was managing the place. And today, believe it or not, I co-own a cafe just 2 blocks away from that bench where I once sat with a single dollar. And here's the part that means the most to me. Next to our register, there's a small glass jar. It says, "For someone who needs a break." Every week, we fill it with a few extra dollars. No one asks questions. No one needs to prove anything. If someone's short, they reach in and take what they need. Because sometimes all it takes is a warm pretzel and a little human kindness. Don't wait for a miracle. Sometimes the smallest moments become the turning points. Be kind to strangers. Ask when you're in need. Try when you're afraid. Because the life you want might be waiting just $1 away.